Hello, welcome to this week's Level 1 class. So I'm going to take over from Dalton, and Dalton's taken over from Lauren in the equipment class. So we've had a little bit of a mix-up to move things around, it's a little bit of a change. So we're going to start with the beginner's class today. We're going to need our cushion at home, or a Pilates circle if you have it. We're going to do a little bit from the pelvic floor muscles. I'm going to be nice and gentle to break myself back into these classes as well. So we'll come on to the hands and knees and get started. So hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips, tuck the elbows in, drop the ribs down to the mat. Lift the head up, looking up in front, allow the stomach to drop down as much as you can, and then drop the head down, push the ribs up to the ceiling, pushing the hands away from the body, drop the ribs back down, lift the head up, looking up in front, and then drop the head down, ribs up to the ceiling again, drop the ribs back down, lift the head up, looking up in front, and then drop the head down, ribs to the ceiling one last time, and drop the ribs down halfway. So looking down between your fingertips, loosen up the hips now by looking out to the left and bring the left foot out as wide as you can. Left foot comes back in, right foot up and out to the side, back in, left foot out to the side, back in, right foot up and out. Good, one last one each side, left foot, and last one, right foot, and then back in. Perfect, last one on the hands and knees. We're going to bring the left leg back behind the body, right arm up in front, just get your balance, bring the arm and leg out to the side, back in, out to the side, and in, out to the side, back in, keep the heel up nice and high in line with the body, and back in, arms and legs down, right leg goes back, left arm up in front, pinch the shoulder blades back, slide the arm and leg out, and then as the leg comes out to the side, keep the toes pointing down, so don't twist them out. Toes face down, hand faces down, one last one, and back in. Arms and legs onto the mat. Perfect, we'll turn over onto our back now. So rest the head onto the block. Good, so move the circle out of the way there. We're going to imprint the spine, so it's going to go through a little bit of a warm up for this. Hands on the hips, push the ribs up to the ceiling, arching the back as much as you can, lift the low back up off the mat, and then roll the hips back, pushing the low back into the mat, bring the rib cage down, so you bring the upper part of the lower back down in contact with the mat, so you have a nice flat low back, and then relax. So roll the pelvis back, bring the rib cage down, and relax. So imagine you have a marble right in the lowest part of your stomach here. What you're trying to do is just roll the marble back towards your belly button, and then you're rolling it away from your belly button and back down. So you're rolling your hips back and forward, moving that marble forwards and backwards. And then one last one, roll the hips back, bring the stomach down and in, pull the rib cage together, and relax the shoulders and hands by the side. Legs to tabletop, and we're going to tap the feet off the mat one at a time. So tap of the toes, left and right, stretching the legs out. Good, and keep the rib cage pulled down and in, shoulders relaxed, and chin is tucked in. So make sure it doesn't start to poke forward. So we're trying to keep the neck flat as well, and the shoulders relaxed. Good, and one last one. Legs to tabletop, and bring the feet down. Next one, we're going to grab the circle. Circle between the thighs, or if you cushion at home, we can use that. Imprint the spine, rib cage comes down, hands by the side, squeeze and relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drop the left leg to the side, and in. Right leg out, and in. Left leg, back in. Right leg, back in. So we start to focus on the legs here, and we forget about the core. So keep imprinting the spine, bring the rib cage down. Good, and keep going left leg and right leg. When one leg moves out, the other one stays perfectly still. Back in, one more on each side, and then we're finished. Grab the circle and rest the legs. So because we're moving the legs and you have the resistance of the circle, even a pillow at home, you're going to start to focus on the legs. You're going to forget about the abs. We want to keep the abs engaged. We're trying to teach the body to work the pelvic floor muscles and the abs at the same time. We don't want to just picking one or the other, we want everything working together in unison. So imprint the spine again, circle back between the thighs, imprint, squeeze the circle, lift the hips up and lower back down. 1, and remember, curl the back, so roll the hips back. Imagine each vertebrae lifting up one at a time and back down. 2, keep the circle squeezed. Lift and lower. 3, lift and lower. 4, make sure you get that full extension at the end, but squeeze the abs and rib cage together, so you're getting all the lift coming from the glutes. Good, and lower down. Relax the shoulders, keep the chin tucked in. 3 more. Exaggerate those curls of the pelvis, and each vertebrae comes in one at a time. And one last one. Lift the hips up and lower back down. Good, and have a little rest again. Next, we're going to stay up in a bridge position. I'm going to turn the glutes on and off. So the glutes and the abs work together to keep the pelvis level, the back flat as we lift up. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch one glute off at a time, left and right. We want to keep the pelvis level. So as we switch the right glute off and drop the leg out, the pelvis will want to drop to the right. We want to keep it up nice and high and work that left side even harder. So circle back between the thighs, hands by the side, squeeze the circle, lift the hips up, drop the right leg out, and then left leg out, and then right leg out, back in, left leg out. Good. Right and left. Keep the hips high and level. Right and left. Make sure they don't dip down each side. Right and left. So as you drop the right knee, you think about pushing it right hip to the ceiling. Back in. As the left leg drops out, the left hip pushes to the ceiling. Back in. We'll do one last one each side. And back in. And squeezing the abs all the time so you don't arch the back. And then roll back down onto the mat. And rest the legs again. Good. Next what we're going to do, we're going to bring the legs to tabletop, circle between the thighs. We're going to think about a bit of rotational control for the hips. So imprint the spine, shoulders are relaxed, legs to tabletop, circle between the thighs, so 90 degrees at the knees, 90 degrees at the hips, shins are parallel to each other. So we're going to squeeze and relax. 1, 2. As you do this, keep the shins parallel the whole time. So they'll come together and they'll come apart, but the knees and the feet are always an equal distance apart. So the feet don't turn in, or do the feet don't turn out and the knees come in. Good. 8, 9, 10. Grab the circle and bring the feet down again. And remember, the abs, don't let them switch off. With the legs and tabletop, you'd be tempted to turn them off. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to work the gracilis. So we've one adductor muscle goes over the knee, it works when the leg is straight, and we're going to focus on that one next. So imprint the spine, circle between the ankles. Good. Knees over the hips, straighten the legs to the ceiling, and have your kneecaps turn slightly out, not all the way out, but just about 5 to 10 degrees out to the side. Squeeze and relax. 1, 2. Now focus on the abs. 3. Because the legs are straight, the hamstrings are under a strain. Good. So you want to come out of the imprint, so you have to focus on that a little bit harder. Relax the shoulders. A nice good squeeze of the circle. And one last one. Bend the knees, grab the circle, and bring the feet down. Perfect. We're going to do one last set. This is working the gracilis again. So we're going to keep the hips on the mat, circle between the thighs. Perfect. Squeeze the circle, relax the arms down, straighten the right leg, drop the right leg out to the side, but keep the toes pointing to the ceiling, and back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the circle's about to pop out, just fix it. 6, 7, toes pointing up. 8, spine is imprinted. Think about pulling those rib cages down. One last one. Back out. Bend the right knee. We'll straighten the left leg. Squeeze and relax. Toes always pointing to the ceiling. So as you drop the leg out, you're going to feel like you're turning the foot back in on itself. 5. Keep the right knee still. Core engaged. 7, 8, 9, chin is tucked in. One last one, 10. Bend the knees. I'll get rid of the circle for now. Hope he's up in a while. Stop work. Next, we're going to do a set of hundreds. So hands by the side, I'm giving out, and you're here complaining every week that we keep these in. Hands by the side, tuck the chin in. We're going to roll the chin into the chest, head and shoulders up. We're going to do our first set of hundreds. We're going to beat the hands. 1, 2, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 4, 5, and in. 2, 4, 5, and out. 2, 4, 5, and in. 2, 4, 5, out. 2, 4, 5. Keep the knees together. Good. Breathe in. 2, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift the chest up. Keep the shoulder blades back. Good. And in. 2, 4, 5, out. 2, 4, 5, in. 2, 4, 5, out. 2, 4, 5. 2 more breaths in. Drop the shoulders back. Draw the head back, but keep the chin tucked in. And last breath in and out. 2, 4, 5. Rest the head down and then relax. Next, we're going to do some roll-ups. So we're going to straighten the legs down onto the mat. Hands are back behind the head. Arms forward, chin to the chest. Up nice and tall, chest comes forward. And control back down. 1, 2, 3. Good. Remember, push the chest forward at the top. 4. Keep the shoulder blades back at the top. 5. Elbows pointing down and palms facing each other. Good. Halfway there. 6. As you start to roll back, allow the shoulders to round and round the whole spine. 7. Chest comes forward. Back down. 8. Up nice and tall. Control on the way down. Last 2. Chest is forward. Nice and slow back down. One last one. Roll up. Pop the chest forward. And control. Keep the feet on the mat. But as you roll down, you should be able to stop at any point you want. So you should control the whole way through. You shouldn't feel like you're losing. You're just racing back down towards the mat. So bend the knees. Feet onto the mat again. Don't worry, I'm not going back for the circle. I'm just pushing it out of the way. Hands by the side, drop the shoulders back, keep the chin tucked in. I don't want to use it again. Imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, straighten the legs to the ceiling. Focus on the imprint, really squeeze the back down, and small little flutter kicks. 1, 2, we're going to go for 10 in each leg. 3, 4, 5, pull the ribcage in. 6, relax the shoulders. 8, 9, last one, 10. Bend the knees and bring the feet onto the mat. Good. So we're going to focus on the imprint, small movements back and forward. Whenever you straighten the legs to the ceiling, slightly turn the knees out. Just so the kneecaps are slightly focused going outwards, but don't have them twist out too far. It's only about 5 degrees, it's just that you can slightly see them turned out, but it doesn't want to be really obvious. Next what we're going to do, we're going to straighten the legs to the ceiling again. We're going to do our double leg lowers. So relax the shoulder blades down, imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, straighten the legs to the ceiling, squeeze the ankles together, and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one last one, 10. Bend the knees and bring the feet down onto the mat then. Next we'll bring a little bit more upper ab work into it. We're going to do some roll-ups into teaser. So we're going to imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, hands back behind the head, and we're going to roll up onto the back of the hips. Chest comes forward. 1, and then back down. 2, shoulder blades back. We're going to go for 10. 3, and back down. 4, and down. 5, halfway there. At the top, Really push the chest forward and don't let the heels touch the mat. 6, 4 more. 7, pull the shoulder blades back. 8, last 2. 9, back down. One last one, rolling up. 10, and then down onto the mat and rest the feet down. Good. Next we're going to do a bit for the glutes. So we're going to imprint, come up into a bridge, and then lower back down. 1, 2, so really roll the hips back. 3, so we're exaggerating that imprint. 4, 5, 6, 7. As you come down, arch the back, roll the pelvis forward, tuck the hips underneath the body, rolling the back. And the last 2, arch the back, push the back to the mat, bring the ribs down, lift, and one last one. Good. And then lower the hips back down. We're going to do some single leg ones next. We're going to bring the right knee to the chest, drop the shoulder blades back, lift the hips, and lower. 1, 2. So the way my knee is very far from my chest. 3. We're going to pull it in nice and tight. 4, and you won't lift as high, that's okay. 5, we're limiting the movement to the glutes. 6, 7, 8, 9, one last one, 10, and back down. And switch legs. Left knee into the chest nice and tight. Lift and lower. 1, 2, 3. And as you lift up, don't let the knee drift away from the body. Keep it nice and tight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one last one, 10, and back down. And rest the feet down. Great. Next we're going to do a little bit for the hip flexors. So we're going to imprint the spine, rib cage comes down, so engage the core, straighten the right leg, lower to the mat, and lift, just to 45 degrees. 1, 2, 3, keep the rib cage down. 4, shoulders drop back. 5, 6, nice smooth movements. 7, and try and get the leg in as straight a line as possible. 8, keeping the toes pointing straight to the ceiling. 9, one last one. You want to turn the toes out. It'll make you work the soles a little bit more, but I want to get you working the rectus femoris as well. Bend the right knee and TFL on the outside. Straighten the left leg. Engage the core. Bring the leg down. Back up. 1, 2, 3. Bring the left leg up so the thighs are in line with each other. 4, 5. Again, don't forget about the core. 6, 7. Toes pointing straight forward. 8, 9. One last one. 10. Bend the left knee and bring the feet down. Perfect. We're going to turn over onto our stomach next. We're going to work a little bit of the low to mid, or mid to lower back. So resting on our stomach, hands on top of one another. Rest the head on the back of the hands. Pull the shoulder blades down and imprint the spine. So squeeze the ribs and pelvis together. So we're flattening out the back. Pinch the shoulder blades back and lift the arms up and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10, and rest back down. So we're going to rest the head on the back of the hands this time, squeeze the abs, we're going to lift the left leg and lower, and then the right, and lower, and the left, and the right, and squeeze the abs the whole time. We're trying to keep the back as flat as we can, so we don't have the back arching. Good. It doesn't have to be a high lift with the legs.
One last one each side, and last one on the right, and lower the legs down. Perfect. Next one we're going to do, we're going to lift the head and shoulders up, squeezing the abs, and we're going to lift the two legs up at the same time. So pinch the shoulder blades back, squeeze the abs, lift the arms, head and chest, 2 inches off the mat, lift the two legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, shoulders away from the ears, 8, 9, last one, 10. Rest the legs and rest the arm back down. Perfect. Bring the hands back by the side, palms facing down to the mat. Pinch the shoulder blades back, lift the arms up, twist the thumbs out, and lift the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep the chin tucked in, 8, twist the thumbs as high to the ceiling as you can. Remember, twist them out and up, not in and up at the rain, the shoulders in. 8, 9, one last one, 10, and lower back down. Turn onto your side now. So, onto your right side, or left, whichever one you want to start with. I'll go onto my right side. So, back line up the back mat, feet to the front corner of the mat, rest the head on the bottom hand. I'm going to lift and lower the top leg, 1 foot to the air, and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, push the heel away from the body. 5, so I'm going to keep the pelvis still. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and back down. Lift top leg 6 inches, and circles. 1, 2, keep the pelvis still. 3, so you want to stop it rocking back and forward this time. 5, good. 6, nice round circles. Try to keep them the same every time. 8, 9, 10, change directions. 10, 9, keep the toes pointing straight forward, don't turn them up to the ceiling. 6, 5, nice slow movements. 4, we'll give you a break after these next. 3, 2, and last one, and rest the leg down. So focus on control of the glutes here. We're going to do nice big circles, start to come up into the inner range of the glutes, so you really feel them tighten at the top. It'll be hard to keep pushing that leg away, so as we bring the leg forward up, push the heel as far away from the body as you can, and then we're going to do our cycling. So lift the top leg an inch, push the heel down away from your body, kick the leg forward, up, back and down. 1, 2, 3, so take all the momentum out of this, nice controlled movements. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one last one, 10, and change directions. 10, nice and slow and controlled. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rest the leg down. Good, last one on this side, cycling forward, and I'm going to stretch out the quads. So lift the top leg 6 inches, and cycle forward. 1, 2, keep the shin parallel to the floor. 3, 4, as you bring the knee forward, bring the heel up along the bottom shin, so don't kick the leg too far back. So the circles that it's doing are all like in front of that bottom leg. 2 more, last one, and backwards. 10, 9, nice and slow and controlled, and take all the momentum out of it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and rest the leg down. Grab the front of the top ankle, imprint the spine, so round the back, and pull the quads back. Good. Keep the back as flat as you can. Squeeze the ab muscles. And just relax the top leg. Stretch it back. Keep the knees close together. Don't let them pull up to the ceiling. And a nice gentle stretch along the front of the thigh. Perfect. And then rest the top leg down. We're going to turn over onto the opposite side. Again, back lined up in the back of the mat. Rest the head on the bottom hand. A little flexion at the front of the hips there, so a little swing forward. Hand on the top hip, make sure it doesn't move anywhere. Push the heel down away from the body and lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rest the leg down. Little circles next. So I'm going to lift the top leg 6 inches and circles going around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9. Push the heel away from the body. Keep the pelvis still. Make sure it doesn't rock back and forward. So you can look down towards the hips. Make sure the hands and the fingers are staying as still as they can. Last 2. And last 1. And rest the head down. Now remember, the next one's the big high circles. And as you lift the leg up, the hip is what's going to come up towards the shoulder. You want to push the heel away as strong as we can as we get to the top of those circles. So, legs straight to the front of the mat. Push the top leg away from you. Lift the top leg 2 inches and kick the leg forward, up, back and down. 1, 2. As the foot comes up, keep the toes pointing forward again. Don't let them twist to the ceiling. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1, and rest the leg down. Perfect, nearly there. Last exercise, cycling forward, stretch out the quads, and then we'll stretch out the legs. Lift the top leg. It's nice when you can see the end of the class, isn't it? You know you're getting there. Lift the top leg 6 inches, and we're going to cycle forward. Now again, nice and slow and controlled. Keep the shin parallel to the floor. It's the most important thing. So the knee is going to want to drop down. We want to stop that happening. 2, 3, 4. It's not as important this time with the hands on the hips. You can bring the hand down in front if you like. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10, and backwards, 10, 9. You can have the hand down flat, 8, let's slow it down and getting too fast, 7, or you can make a fist and push the knuckles into the mat, 5, 4, but don't be on the fingertips, you'll end up hurting the fingers and the joints in the knuckles. Last 2, or don't do that, last 1, and rest back down. Good, stretch out the quads, grab the front of the top ankle, you can bend the bottom leg a little bit if you want, it'll help you imprint the spine, and stretch the top leg back, and keep the knees down nice and low, don't let the knee pull up towards the ceiling. Good, it's a nice gentle stretch into the front of the quads. So we're getting rectus femoris muscle here, 4 quads muscle. This is the only one that crosses both the knee and the hip. All the other ones, the other 3, just cross the knee. Good, and straighten the leg down. We'll come up into sitting now. So, into sitting, up nice and tall. Turn the head to the right, bring the nose towards the armpit. Right hand over the top of the head, and pull the left shoulder back. Stick the chest forward. Should feel a stretch into the left side of the neck and into the top of the shoulder blade, and hold that stretch pull the left shoulder back and down. Good, back towards the middle, turn the head to the left, right arm by the side, chest up nice and tall, right shoulder blade comes back, and we pull the head down towards the left, very gently. Again, chest forward, shoulder blade back, and we get that stretch. If you slump, you won't feel any stretch. So up nice and tall, chest forward, works our core again while we're in sitting, and pull the shoulder blades back. And drop the left shoulder down as well, don't have it up by the ear. Drop the 2 shoulder blades back. Perfect. And then come back to the middle, and we'll finish that. I hope you enjoyed the class. I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.